Hey everyone, Amanda Robbins here with Performance Coach University, and today I'm rocking the headphones because we have some crazy construction going on in the background. But I wanted to jump on here and share with you a powerful framework that we just went over with our students in Performance Coach University. This is a framework that's going to help your clients, if used correctly, to expand their perspective, their creativity, to use both their analytical and their creative side of themselves. So often our clients will get stuck in a default way to solve problems or to find new solutions. And so the framework we're going to share with you today is going to allow you to unlock so much magic, opportunity, and be aware of any risk. The downside of limited perspective or limited thinking and not using a framework like this means that our client could just miss opportunities to be limited by their own perspective instead of expand into other hats or perspectives. So with that, let's dive in. If you want a copy of this workbook, go ahead and comment below, reply to this email, or enter your name and email. There might be a field over here, a form that you can fill out. We'd love to send you this workbook. It's a very powerful one. Okay, so let's dive into it today. This work is developed by Edward de Bono, and it is such a powerful framework for enhancing collaboration, problem solving, and decision making by encouraging you as the coach or the team leader, leading a team in the workplace, or even in a one-on-one session with a client. This is a great framework to use to help them think from different perspectives. And it is critical that you use them effectively to get the most out of this. This is going to help us solve problems, creative thinking. It's going to help us tap into both our analytical and our creative side of our minds. It's also very helpful with decision making. One thing to know is this works excellent with teams and with one-on-one coaching. So in our live coaching this week, we actually went through an example of using it amongst teams and then also translated that into how that would work in a one-on-one setting, which is very important to know. I want you to think of this real quick. I want you to think of this, and why it's important is if you imagine being a part of a symphony orchestra. Each musician has their own instrument, right? And it's the same as the hats that we're going to wear in this framework. By contributing their unique melody, they create this harmonious composition. However, if one of these hats or perspectives dominates the orchestra or the way of thinking, it completely throws off balance and it throws off depth. So here in this orchestra, each hat is going to produce ideas and solutions and perspective, a new way of thinking. So it's important that they're all worn and they're balanced. All right, so let's talk about what each of these 6 thinking hats are. So the blue hat is essentially your facilitator. This hat is responsible for making sure that the process, the managing of discussions, all helps meet the goal or outcome that we're aiming for. The white hat is going to be focused on facts and information, just data and objective information. There's no bias. This is what we're focused on today. Here's the data, here's the logic. Whereas our green hat is going to be creativity and innovation. The sky is the limit here. There's no boundaries, limits. It's truly about being as creative as you possibly can be. Alternatives, possibilities, new ideas. Yellow is going to be our optimism hat. Think of sunshine yellow. So here we're going to identify benefits, opportunities, and very positive aspects. There is no room for criticism or limited thinking with the yellow hat. Now, the red hat is going to be emotions and intuition. This is important because we want to make sure that we want to listen to our gut. There's so much that we can learn when we get out of our heads and into our hearts or our gut and figure out what feelings, hunches, or intuitions might we have on this problem or on the solution that we're solving for. And then finally, we cannot forget, some people totally gravitate toward this one and some people avoid it. So it's important that we give it a fair shot and is in balance with the other perspectives. This is the black hat. It is caution. It is critical. It's really the risk assessor. All right, so the next part is going through this with your team or with your one-on-one coaching client. And the key to success, to make sure you really get the most out of this tool, is going to be asking the right questions. At the end of the day, the best coaches aren't giving advice and they aren't telling people what to do. The best team leaders and bosses aren't just giving advice and telling people what to do. They're truly coaching and allowing to use both the art and the science of coaching to expand your client or your team's mind and thinking, right? And so it starts with great questions. The blue hat is going to ask outcome-based questions. How can we ensure that we cover all aspects of the decision-making process? Our white hat is going to make sure that that we have the data and info that we need to make this decision. They're going to help get a clear understanding and perspective. The green hat is focused on creativity. So they're going to ask questions that help them think maybe unconventionally. They're going to ask questions out of the box. The yellow hat is going to be focused on benefits. So you're going to ask questions that are related to potential benefits and positive outcomes. The red hat is going to ask, how do we feel about this? What's our gut saying? What emotions are coming up? And the black hat is going to illuminate potential obstacles that may arise, what could go wrong, and what risk are we maybe ignoring or trying to avoid, right? So it's all about great questions here. So next, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you really wear each hat and you give each perspective a deep dive. If we stay shallow, it's likely we will just allow one to influence the other. So really wear that hat, go deep with the questions when wearing the hat and vetting your solution or your decision-making through each perspective. Really go deep with it. And that allows us to really expand our thinking. It allows us to really be more creative, to not be biased, to get out of our way, truly, because we're not operating with our default thinking anymore. We're really expanding possibilities. We're really assessing risk. We're being mindful of obstacles way farther than we typically would be if left to our own, right? So this is the power in using this framework of the 6 thinking hats as a coach or as a team leader. And I know this was a very micro training for you. I want you to have an understanding of the framework. If you want to go deeper into this tool and expand into other tools to become an even more effective coach that has great transformation and lasting results for your clients, I welcome you to look into Performance Coach University, check out our upcoming cohort where we go deep into these tools, not only in your understanding of them, but most importantly, your confidence and your proficiency in the tools. It's one thing to know a tool. It's quite another to feel confident in where it works, how it works, and how to effectively and masterfully execute on a tool so that you truly make impact in your clients or your team's life. So again, if you want this worksheet, go ahead and drop your name and your email below. We'd be happy to send it over. And we look forward to seeing you again, either on our next micro training or inside the program. We'll talk to you soon.